Hello everyone and welcome back to the video. I'm back after a little bit of a break, but no better way to come back to YouTube videos besides, uploading a video about the upcoming changes. So we got a new patch coming. They actually just released it 13 hours ago, and this is the pub changes, meaning that these are not going straight to live servers. They're first going to test them on a different server where players can hop on, test the new changes, and then based on that feedback or the kind of gameplay they gather, they decide whether these will be official or not. So these are not official just yet, but usually with stuff like this, most of these end up going to live servers. So for me, this is basically just a new patch, but keep your eyes out for any changes before it comes as an official patch. So with all that said, let's go ahead and hop in. I haven't checked these changes past the initial ones, so yeah, it should be fun for me as well. So starting things off with the balance changes, we've got in general, battering ram move speed increased from 0.5 to 0.6, and battering ram garrison capacity increased from 4 to 6. Both of these are pretty nice changes to the battering ram line, honestly. And oh, I just realized they did the same for cap ram as well here. Okay. Yeah. 4 to 6 from 5 to 6. So both capped and battering rams will be very similar in their stats. And this is a great change because before, battering rams were basically a meme in late Castle Age. They were supposed to be like, if you can mass them up, kill castles, but it's just so easy to defend against them because they're so slow. And any melee unit, including villagers, petards, can kill them. So it's very hard to make battering rams work as like an effective base pushing tool. Same with cap ram in early Castle Age. So the only good one was like siege ram in late game. And even siege ram isn't like that insane. So this buff to the battering ram cap ram line is really good. I think this might make it so battering rams see more play. It doesn't strike me as a huge change, like battering rams suddenly become overpowered. It just might make them a little bit more playable because, yeah, they were kind of a meme before. They were only really useful for, like, in early Castle Age, you had, like, a forward siege workshop. You make, like, 1 or 2 rams to, like, break their buildings, break all their houses, their stables, that kind of stuff. But they weren't really good at pushing, like, town centers, pushing castles, that kind of stuff. Just because they were so slow. So hopefully, although it's a small buff, hopefully these two changes can help out a little bit there. Next we have Battle Elephant and Elite. Line of sight increased from 4 and 5 to 7, 8. Really nice. And then the Elite Battle Elephant cost reduced from 1,200 food, 900 gold, to 1,100 food, 700 gold. These are both really nice changes. So the line of sight increase is huge because now you're going to be able to see the monks coming, you're going to be able to see the pikemen coming, and you get to decide as the Battle Elephant player whether you want to engage or you want to back up. So before you had very small line of sights, now you're going to have pretty big line of sight. And I think that's really nice. So I like this change. It also makes sense, like the guy on the elephant should be able to see far. So like it doesn't make sense for him to have 4 line of sight. This makes a lot more sense for like what the unit is supposed to be. So I'm a huge fan of this change. Next, we have a small nerf to gill nets. Gather rate reduced from 25% to 20%. Mainly, this affects Black Forest fish boomers or like pond boomers. Could have some impact on like 4 lakes and islands though, if you have like randomly fish traps and pretty much all water maps, but mainly for Black Forest. Ooh, and this is a big one. Stone and gold shaft mining cost reduced from 200 food, 150 wood to 175 food and 75 wood. This is a massive change. So before, basically the unspoken rule or unwritten rule was gold shaft mining, you only get it sometimes if you're heavy on gold or if it's like gold rush, and stone shaft mining, which is the second gold and stone upgrade, you never get because it's just not worth it, it rarely pays off, etc. But now with the price decrease, I expect gold shaft mining to be picked up a lot more. Maybe we pick it up in like mid Castle Age when you're starting to go like 30 vills in gold, you're spamming knights or expo monk or something and you just have a lot of vills there. I think it might be good to get it because it's a pretty cheap upgrade now. So yeah, something to think about here with these upgrades. I like them. Next, you have Sanctity cost increase from 120 gold to 175 gold. I think this is a pretty good change. I think monks are very strong in low numbers, and I think Sanctity is obviously just the best upgrade on monks in general. So I think having this with a small price increase should make monks a little less viable in the early mid-Castle Age. I don't think this will affect pure monk rushing that much because at the end of the day, it's only 55 gold. So this really hurts players who just have a few monks on defense, but it doesn't really hurt someone who's going for like full monks, if that makes sense. We'll also make Redemption Sanctity defense a little harder as well. which is probably a good thing because Redemption Sanctity basically shuts down all siege pushes and it should be hard to get to. Next up, we have Heavy Scorpion HP increase from 50 to 55. It's a really good change. I hope this makes it so they don't die to one shot of a Bombard Cannon, because that's really their biggest weakness. It's cool that Scorpions die to Onagers, because Onagers are hard to get to, but the fact that they die to Bombard Cannon so easily makes them very weak. So if this is enough to make them survive one hit of a BBC, that's a good change. If it's not enough, it doesn't do this. If it's not enough, they still die in one shot, then this change doesn't do much. But it's a step in the right direction. Heavy Scorpions recently got a price decrease, so having some HP increase as well. We're now looking at a unit that's gotten double buffed over 2 patches. Maybe we'll start seeing more Heavy Scorpion being played. Next up, we have Fish Traps receive anti-building damage. I don't know what this means. If someone can help me out here. I think this means that they die harder to like Tarkans or something. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what this means, guys. Alright, now we're going to Civ-specific changes. So Bengali's Elite and regular Ratha in melee mode is no longer unintentionally affected by the anti-skirmisher attack bonus. Oh, what? Wait, this is such a big change. Bro, unintentionally? How did this not get fixed earlier if it was unintentional? I thought that was intentional. Bro, the DLC came out a year ago. How is this? If I made a mistake, I'd fix it in like a week, not a year. Oh my god, that's crazy to me. That's a really big change though. They made it sound like it's like a bug fix, like oh real quick, it was unintentional, but that's a huge change. So basically, before Rathas in range mode would take extra damage from skirmishers. So then what would you do? You'd obviously put the Ratha in melee mode because it has melee attack and that should counter skirmishers in theory. But then the Ratha would still die to skirms in melee mode because it counted as a cav archer, and so the skirmisher still has the the attack bonus. I will say though, I don't think it's a good idea to do this because what you can do if people get really good with Ratha, you can have it in range mode, attack, and then when the skirms attack, you can switch to melee mode, tank the damage from the skirmisher, which will do very little, and then switch back to range mode and shoot again. It's going to be very micro intensive, but if people get really good with Ratha, that's going to be possible. So I actually don't agree with this at all. But the fact that it's unintentional makes it even crazier. So yeah. Just to explain it, now Rathas in melee mode is basically a knight. It doesn't take anti-skirmisher damage, and so Rathas will be a very powerful unit against skirms, and it's not going to be very hard to counter them, because what do you make? If you make something like a pikeman, the ranged Ratha will kill it, and if you make something like skirms, the melee Ratha will destroy it. So Rathas are in a good position right now. Maybe only like camels and knights can deal with them, but everything else kind of dies. They also do really well versus eagle warriors, and like longswords, so... Yeah, I think this change is huge. This could make Bengalis a very strong and very annoying civ. Yeah. Crazy that they threw in this word, though. That really bothers me. Anyways, next up we have Bohemians, whose sight wagon frame delay decreased from 30 to 20. Doesn't matter, unit's useless. Britons receive Gambesons. Whoa, that's a big buff. Dude, that's going to make Britons so hard to play against, because I don't agree with this. Yeah, it was cool that Britons had fully upgraded champions, and that's part of their identity. But now it's going to make Britain so hard to counter, because you can't just go skirms. You used to be able to go skirms as like your main unit to try to counter the arbalest or longbows. But even that didn't really work, because the longbows and arbalest have like 3 or 4 more range. And so like skirms are already pretty weak versus Britons. Now, by giving them Gambesons, if they go like champion longbow, skirms are literally useless. Like they can't do anything, because they only do 1 damage to the champions. You can't push through them because they have so much attack. So this is like so massive for the Britons. That's a big buff for late game. It's not going to matter in early game, but for late game, that really matters. Especially on Arena, that really matters again as well. I don't really agree with that change, honestly. Bulgarians, dismounted conic base armor increased from 0-0 to 2-1. Oh, that's a pretty big change. And then the elite version is 2-2. I like that. Why did they have 0-0 in the first place? That's a pretty good buff. And conic isn't seeing too much play right now at all. So this is a really good change. I love this. Big thumbs up for me. Next up, we got Burmese elite Arambai attack reduced from 15 to 14. Elite and regular Arambai now properly affected by chemistry instead of only using a graphic change to the projectile. Ooh, so they make it so you need chemistry to give them +1 attack. Okay. But here I actually noticed something. This is actually a buff to Castle Age Arambai, because you get Castlage run by a regular run by. You go up to Imp. You don't need the elite version. You can get Chemistry for +1 damage. And regular run by have how much damage? Like 13 or 11? How much? I don't know how much damage they have, but now you can get an extra 1 with Chemistry. So you can upgrade them without getting the elite, which is pretty expensive. So this is like a nerf to the elite version, because now you need to pay Chemistry to get the extra attack, but it's a buff to the regular version going into Imperial Age. Mana per cavalry moved to Castlage. Oh wow. Mana per cavalry cost reduced from 400 food to 400 gold to 300 food, 300 gold. And now instead of +5 bonus damage with archers, you get +4 bonus damage with archers. Great change. A fantastic change. I love that. Burmese are going to be very strong though, because getting this upgrade against like crossbows with your light cav and your knights, you could theoretically your opponent goes to like fast imp arbalest, and you just stay in Castlage with knights and light cav. If you pick this up, you can shred those arbalests, because +4 attack is a really big deal. That's a really nice change. How to move to Imperial Age makes sense. Like elephant upgrades being in Castlage doesn't make sense. No one goes for elephants in Castlage and can afford to get the unique tech. It's just too hard to do that. So that makes a lot of sense. So we'll see how this plays out. It's a pretty big buff to like all in Castlage Burmese. I like the changes overall though. Byzantines, Greek fire changed from +1 range for fire ships and bomber towers, +0.5 blast radius, to +1 range, Dromans and bomber towers blast radius increased. Okay. Fair enough. They just included Dromans, I guess. Bomber towers now deal 25% damage in radius, no longer deal friendly fire damage. Okay. I don't know. I don't really... This could be good. I don't really know what to think of it, though, yet. Next up, we got Chinese. Technology discount civilization bonus reduced from 10, 15, 20 to 5, 10, 15. Oh, a Chinese nerf. 20 years later, this civ has been the top civ for so long now, and they're finally getting nerfed. I don't even know what to think of it. This is a really big nerf. Probably a needed one. I think I like this overall. This was the only way to nerf Chinese that makes it still fair. I suggested removing heavy camo from them, but I think this might be a bigger nerf, what they did here, obviously, because now they're going to get much less savings. I'd say overall a pretty good change. We'll see. Chinese might drop a tier. They might go down to like mid-A tier because of this change, by the way. This is a pretty big nerf. I like it though, shakes things up. Franks, Forager, faster work rate civilization bonus reduced from 15 to 10. This is such a bad change. You know what happened with Franks? They gave them the berry bonus, and then now they reduced it from like 25% initially to like, now it's down to 10%. They kept reducing it by 5% at like 3-4 patches. Just literally make it 25% and give it to another civ. And just don't give Franks that bonus at this point. What's 10%? That doesn't even matter. Like, you don't have that many berries anyway. They should have kept it like 20 or 25% and given it to another civ and give Franks something else that's a little smaller. That would be the way to like fix this whole dilemma, because like this is just pathetic. what kind of bonus is 10% faster forage bushes? It's just terrible. So that's my feedback on this bonus, honestly. But fair enough. Nerf to Franks. Hindustani lose access to guilds. Barely matters. Grand Trunk Road. Cost now reduced from 400 food, 400 wood to 250 food, 200 wood. Also reduces the trade fees to 10%. So I guess that's replaces guilds. Okay. Okay, that's cool. I like that. Elite Gulam attack increased from 8 and 10 for the elite to 9 and 11. Oh, 9, 11. Oh, man. Putting those numbers very close. Thank God for the brackets. And then the Gulam increased from 55, 65 to 60, 70. So they get plus 5 HP and plus 1 attack. That's a pretty good change. That's 2 changes at once, but they're pretty minor. So I like that. Gulams were actually quite weak for a while now. They came out and they were really strong. Then they got nerfed to Oblivion. And now they're slowly coming out of Oblivion with these changes. I like that. Might make Gulams a bit more of a threat. I think they should reduce the pass-through damage, though. If they reduce the pass-through damage, they can make the units stronger against other things. Or like, maybe reduce like the attack bonus they get versus archers, and increase like the base attack, or increase like something else. I don't like when units are like hard counter to one unit, but terrible against other things. I like it to a unit to like counter a unit, but also be decent against other things. That's how unique units should be. Unique units should be a power unit and not like a halberdier, you know what I mean? But fair enough, step in the right direction. Italians, They changed Pavis from 300 food, 150 gold to 200 wood, 150 gold. I like this change. This is way too similar to like the cost of archer armor from the blacksmith. This makes it cost something different, which means that you have now a little bit more decision making. If you have more wood and gold, you get this. If you have more food, you get the archer armor from the blacksmith first. I like that change. Koreans, military units except siege cost minus 20% wood civilization bonus change to archers and infantry cost minus 50% wood and warships cost minus 20% wood. So they don't want it to affect siege as stated here. So that's still the case. I like this change. I think it's pretty good. It's a big buff, to be honest. Yeah, it's a big buff. I like that. And war wagon base cost adjusted, but it's unchanged after the wood discount, so it doesn't really matter. And turtle ships affected by siege engineers. That's a nice buff. I like that. It's not going to see too much play, but I like it. Magyars team bonus change from foot archers plus 2 in line of sight to cab archers trained plus 25% faster. Now that is good. Magyars have had generic cab archers in Castle Age for way too long, making it very unreasonable to go for cab archers in Castle Age because you only get a bonus to them in Imperial Age with a unique tech. So Magyars had no way to like mass cab archers in Castle Age without getting punished from like stronger civs in the mid game. Now with this, you can go like 2 range CA. They are produced faster. That makes a lot more sense. I like this change a lot, actually. And it is a team bonus, so maybe we'll see Magyar's flank going CA, and then the other guy on the team, or even Magyar's pocket going scouts with like +1, +1 attack. And then you have like the Hun flank going CA, because now they produce faster. You can also have like a Britain flank, Hun flank, and so you have Magyar's pocket, and then you have the Rangers working faster because of the Britain bonus, and then you have the Magyar bonus making the cavalry train faster, and so the Hun player who has cheaper cavalry can make them at a crazy speed. I'm cooking a little bit here. I like that change. Another civ should probably get this bonus though. It's a pretty good bonus. Malay lose access to Gambesons, great change. Love that. Malians gold miners drop off more gold civilization bonus reduced from 15% to 10%. Great. 10% is still a good bonus, just not ridiculous like the 15%. Great change. Persian elite war elephants line of sight increased from 4 to 5 to 7, 8. Developers note, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Changes are on the horizon for Persians. Sounds good. So they recognize Persians are dog water and they want to change them. This is a step in the right direction though. Giving elephants more line of sight makes it harder for monks to deal with them. Portuguese Vittoria cost increased from 250 to 250 to 350 to 300. Good. Still a cancer building though in a way, but whatever. Romans. Galley line +1 attack, civilization bonus removed. Galleys +1 armor. Galleys and Romans +2 armor. Bonus changed to just +1 for both. Okay, cool. Ballistas no longer grants attack speed to the galley line. It now grants +2 attack to the galley line in addition to Scorpion attack speed. And elite Centurion formation position removed or moved behind infantry units instead of in front of them. Whatever. Romans enabled for rank play. Oh, what? How are you going to randomly drop this? Okay. That's exciting. So for those who got the DLC, it's exciting. For those who haven't gotten it yet, maybe you can get it now if you're interested in ranked. And then Slavs lose access to fervor. New bonus, monks move 20% faster. I like that. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. It's giving Slavs a little bit of a buff for the monks. Big thumbs up there. Slavs can use the farming bonus though. Just bump the farming from 10% to 15%. Just make it happen for the Slavs. Turks Janissary attack range reduced from 8 to 7. Oh, that's amazing. And elite remains unchanged. That's amazing because Janissaries were so broken, like literally 0 unit counters it. Not even crossbow, not even skirm, because they have 8 range. They just outrange you. Now, crossbows and skirms can actually fight this unit. Knights still struggle. That's a good change. Janissary will still be strong, just not oppressive. Vietnamese economy technology is now also researched 100% faster. Okay. That's weird. Fair enough. Imperial skirmisher upgrade cost reduced from 300 wood, 450 gold to 300 wood, 300 gold. That's nice. I don't think you needed any of these though. Vietnamese were fine. Why did we even buff them? I don't agree with either of these changes, honestly. Give this to something else. Give this to another civ maybe. I don't know. I don't really agree with these changes, but whatever. And Return of Rome, I don't care about. So that's going to be it for the changes. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Peace.